Hey everyone, another day, another video. Day number 5 is almost over. And as for today, in today's journal, two really major things happened, which none of which I was expecting whatsoever. The first and most important one, um, I went on Discord to try to meet new people, socialize, stuff like that, since I do this from time to time, like maybe once or twice a week. But yeah, most of the internet is filled with, not even gonna mention what type of people. Today, however, to my surprise, I met somebody half my age, well, roughly. I mean, I'm turning 35 in a month, and this person I speak of is 18 years old. And this Indian person, whose name I could not pronounce, and we ended up agreeing on calling him Gary, as that's his nickname, uh, we had a back and forth conversation about multiple things concerning the cosmos, and one thing led to another. And he told me some of his cultural things, some Hindu stuff, and he he had some very sound, very logical, very astute. I can't find the exact adjective to describe this, but basically, bottom line is, after, I don't know, 2, 3-ish hours of conversing with him, I was left in awe, basically. This person's wisdom, again, half my age, you do not see this on the internet these days. And yet, we were able to discuss on such a level, both philosophical and spiritual, that he actually gave me the opportunity to realize something that was in front of me the whole time. Basically, how I approach life as a whole. Now, it's we didn't exactly reinvent the wheel, so to speak, but because, and why do I say this? Because he has given me um he has given me a way to look. No, how do I say this? God damn. Okay, yeah, my English is really rusty today. Um, Basically, what I ended up absorbing from our conversation is a new take on life, a new perspective on life overall. Because yeah, it sucks, it's horrible, but what are you gonna do about it? At the end of the day, bottom line, what are you gonna do? So I'm gonna try what I've tried before. Like I said, we didn't reinvent the wheel. It's really hard to put into words. It sounds like nothing was achieved, or at maybe like really very little was achieved or something. It's kind of like an inside joke, or the type of joke that you had to be there, you had to be there for the whole conversation. I probably should have recorded it, but I had no idea it was gonna turn into this. And by the time I realized it, it was too late to record it, I guess. But you had to be there. So yeah, again, long story short, this person, half my age, his insight and his knowledge, and overall his beliefs, his own perspective on life, everything, has given me uh, a lot to process, but mostly how to view life itself. Like, I've said it, and I'll say it again. I tried this in the past. What do I mean by that? I tried taking things. No, I tried looking at life through a more positive lens, so to speak, and it never worked, because I kept I kept on trying to see the good things where there were none, and even when where there were good things, I was metaphorically blind to them. I'm gonna try the same system again, only with a relatively fresh perspective. So it's a little bit of the same, but with a twist. I'm going to try my best, and this is a promise I made to myself, not to him. This is a promise I made to myself, because at the end of the day, he is okay. He has his own problems, obviously, but nothing near what I have. And at the end of the day, what am I trying to achieve here? Well, somehow I'm trying to achieve a better lifestyle for myself. So I promised myself this, and if I always keep my promises to other people. What does that say about keeping a promise to myself, you know? I promised myself I'm gonna start looking at life in a more positive way. I tried it before, it didn't work, but what's the harm in trying again? Because, like I said, it's, I don't know, call me crazy, but the way this person spoke to me, the way we connected, it just makes this whole process completely new. Even though I tried it before, this whole process is just kind of completely new at this point. That's how much of an impact the conversation had. I've never been the type of person to, Einstein said it, the definition of insanity, which is also in Far Cry 3, said by Vas Montenegro. But yeah, Einstein coined this saying officially. Doing the same shit over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. Well, call me insane, but the impact the conversation with this Indian person had today on me was huge, to the point where I'm actually me, the person who never did anything twice, who was never willing to do anything twice, who doesn't give second chances, me, the stubborn guy who dismisses any and all advice that doesn't seem right or anything along those lines. No, the impact was huge, and I promised myself, and ever since I ended the conversation with him a few hours ago, I've started doing that. I'm obviously I'm not gonna see any results tonight or tomorrow or maybe in a week or a month, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't try. Because at the end of the day, bottom line, I've come to a very big realization. Call it a revelation, if you will. What's the point of... Yeah, sure, life, in my case, I live a horrible life and lifestyle. But what is the point in constantly being bitter and angry and frustrated? I mean, sure, there are natural responses to an overall horrible lifestyle, but what if I constantly try to change that? What if I've always been the realist. I've never been pessimistic or optimistic. I've always been the realist. Well, I think it's time I went to one of the extremes, and it's not going to be the pessimist extreme, it's going to be the optimist extreme. Well, where people see glasses half full or half empty, I've always just seen a glass. I've never been interested in the amount of liquid, the type of liquid, if anything is in the glass. No, I've always just seen the glass, like a realist. Not half full, not half empty. Well, from now on, I'm going to do my best to see the glass half full. In anything I can possibly... in anything that I can possibly see that. While at the same time, I'm gonna try to stop being as angry and frustrated and bitter and about, it's just, it's hard to, I mean, yeah, this is my own personal journal, even though it's public. Um, Technically, it's my own journal, so I want to cut it short, but at the same time, I need to get all this shit out there. So I should probably get it out there because that's the main reason for this whole podcast, the therapy within it. So yeah, that was it. For all I know, it may be life changing. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see. While again, at the same time, trying to be grateful for everything I have, trying to view things as in as a positive lens as possible, and just go with the flow. Hope for the best. Anyway, that was the most important thing that happened today, and here's hoping it's actually the most important thing that's ever happened in my life, assuming, of course, that somewhere in the future, somewhere along the lines, this actually works. Here's hoping. The second part that happened roughly a couple hours after I spoke with that Indian person. An old friend of mine, out of the blue, just gave me 3 Steam codes. He didn't say anything, not even hello. Just gave me 3 Steam codes, which at a glance looked exactly like game codes. I initially thought, we speak maybe once every 2-3 months or something. And even then, it's a really short conversation. But, this person knows that I am really hyped about Starfield, and he just sent me 3 codes out of the blue, which again looked like game codes. I didn't ask. I was like, okay, you didn't say hello, you just send me codes. I'm gonna insert the codes, and depending on how surprised I am of what games you gave me, I'm obviously gonna thank you, but first I want to be surprised. Well, the surprise was actually way bigger than I thought, because it turns out one of the codes was, well, actually all 3 codes were gift cards, a 50 and 2 10s, which amounts to 70 euros. And yeah, I saw 70 euros in my Steam wallet, and he wasn't saying anything, so obviously he was waiting for a reply from me. And after I thanked him like a billion times, he didn't even pressure me into, it's like, it's crazy. I don't know, today was a roller coaster. First, I have what I think was a revelation in terms of how I should live overall, how I should view my lifestyle, how I should, I don't know. And then out of the blue, an old friend of mine just gives me 70 euros with no strings attached and doesn't even tell me to buy Starfield. Just tells me, dude, I know you love that game, even though you haven't played it, but others have, and I know you've watched like 500 hours of reviews and shit like that. You still haven't spoiled the game. Kudos for that. And yeah, I think I kind of dodged a bullet on that part, because I was gonna spoil the game. I was gonna watch other people play it. I did not. The game releases in roughly 3 to 4 hours now. And he said, dude, you can do whatever you want with the money. Now, obviously, it's on Steam, so you can't buy physical stuff or stuff from retailers or you name it. But you can still buy literally any other game on Steam. However, I know you'll do the right thing. Those were his words, not mine. And yeah, I I'm still in shock. I still haven't bought the game. It'll still probably take me another 1 or 2 hours to get this through my head, that this happened, that I'm actually gonna. I'm still not. I'm I'm still in denial of the fact that I will be able to play Starfield in just a few hours. And just like with the conversation I had, if anyone is listening to this, just like with the conversation I had with that Indian person, which was, again, for all I know, maybe even life-changing, the same applies to the second thing that happened with the 7 euros and with Starfield. You had to be there. Same with the conversation. You had to be there. I am in denial. I am so happy that I am literally in denial of the fact that I have exactly enough money to buy Starfield and play it and enjoy it for. I mean, I played Red Dead for over 1,000 hours. I almost spent 1,000 hours in multiple other games that were nowhere near as close to what Starfield is and will become with modding, and that's another thing. That's completely separate. That is how. So the first impact was on a spiritual level, I guess. The second is on a, I don't even know how to put this, on an endorphin level. I guess, because this, I know for a fact this game will bring me a lot of pleasure and joy and happiness. Words that technically are kind of strange to me, considering what I'm going through, but like I said, I am starting to adopt a different view on life, and if you couple that with a game that I've been hyped for since 2018, the result is going to be really, really positive. Okay, but enough rambling. That's pretty much it. There was one thing, kind of strange thing. There was a panic attack, but I'm still not sure if it happened or if it was on the brink of happening and it just went away. One thing I can tell you is that as I was feeling it either happen or about to happen, because I'm still not sure, again, I'm still not sure if it happened or if it almost happened and just went away on its own. It was in the span of about a minute. But during that minute, what I can tell you is that with the goals that I set yesterday about not picking up the phone to call someone when I have a panic attack, or going, for example, going into my grandmother's room for somebody to be in close proximity to me when I have the attack, what I can tell you is that I did not, like I said, I set some objectives yesterday, and today was the official implementation of said objectives, because I did not do any of those things. And I even waited a few hours until I took the next dosage of Xanax. So, for what it's worth, I guess that's progress, but it's just one. I have dozens of panic attacks each day, but they are really small to a degree where I can control them. And I make them go away as soon as they appear. This one was one of the bigger ones, but again, I have no idea if it happened or if it almost happened and then decided, no, I'm gonna go away. I have no idea. What I can tell you, like I said, is I didn't even medicate myself at that point. I did a few hours later, but not then. The only thing I did in that minute was focus on myself to try to get over it, basically. because it's not the first panic attack, and it's definitely not going to be the last. And if I can somehow, if I can do this whenever the more severe attacks happen, well, then that will officially be progress in terms of the objectives I set for myself. Holy shit, it's been 20 minutes already. God, yeah, if if I am left unchecked, I can go on for hours. Hell, maybe even days, I think. Just talking to myself. So, imagine imagine actually having a conversation with someone. It can go on for literally days. But yeah, today was a roller coaster, to say the least. It was just amazing. An amazing conversation with an amazing person. Hopefully something that will change my life. Big thank you again to my my old friend for making my year, basically, at this point, because I mean it's already September. I mean, there's only a couple of months left. He basically made my year. I'm gonna be playing Starfield in just a few hours, and I still, even as the words come out of my mouth, I can't believe it. I my government's welfare gives me roughly 28 euros a month. That's it. I don't have a job. I don't have anything. I don't have an income. Twitch is a bust. So I have no form of income whatsoever. And boom, out of the blue, 70 euros. Get Starfield. Enjoy. Well, not get Starfield. Like I said, he said do whatever you want with it. But I know you're gonna do the right thing. And then, yeah, the right thing is buying Starfield. I want that. Holy shit. Okay, that's it. Enough rambling. That was today's journal, and here's hoping tomorrow and the day after and so on will progressively get more interesting, though I doubt it. But hey, this should be a new me, right? New perspective on life. You can never know. All of this shit that I'm going through, all of my disorders, all the anxiety, the panic attacks, the depression, all of this just came out of the blue back in 2010. The same way it happened, the same way it could just magically disappear, because why not? It's a possibility, and one that I should hope for on a daily basis. It's certainly way more productive than just constantly looking at everything in a dark and grim way, right? I mean, why not just look at it from a positive angle? I need to stop being so realistic and logical all the time. I definitely, as I'm speaking right now, I realize I definitely need way more positivity in my life, because I'm not exactly surrounded by it. Wherever I look, it's mostly negative stuff and, best case scenario, realistic stuff, but positive stuff, not really. It's a very small percentage of my life right now. So if it's not going to come from external stimuli, or external factors, well, then why shouldn't it come from me? What better source than me? I'm the one going through this, so I should be the one who is constantly positive. It makes sense, at least on some level. So yeah, again, even if tomorrow, even if this is day number, what day is it? Day number 5. Okay, this is by far This has been by far the most interesting day of the whole year. Not just from when I started the podcast 5 days ago. No. This has literally been the most interesting and the most uh, fun and positive day of the whole year. Granted, the year is not over yet, but it may as well be. Again, just a couple of months left. And yeah, like I get sidetracked a lot because there's a lot to be said. There's a lot of there's a really big amount to be said, but I I can't do it in one video because I there's a lot going on in this dumb brain of mine, and it's really hard to focus on one thing. You know, I get sidetracked, I remember something else pops up, something links to something else, and so on and so forth. It's really hard to keep track of just one thing when you're dealing with all these mental factors. But as I was saying, this has been the most fun and the best day of the year. This has been the best day of 2023, at least until September. And even if it stops here for 2023, if from here on out until December 30th or 31st or whatever, if nothing happens and it's gonna stagnate or just, I don't know, I don't care. I have a new, fresh perspective, of a new outlook on life. I need to have it. I have to have it. And I'm doing my best, and I will do my best. So if this is as interesting as 2023 gets, I am completely willing to accept that. It's not gonna stop me from hoping that one of these days things will get better. Again, it is way more productive than just looking at things and seeing darkness everywhere. Even if I am lying to myself, even if tomorrow or the day after or a week from now or I don't know, it turns out I have a really bad day, I don't care. I will still try my best to look at it in as positive a light as humanly possible. And on the topic of hoping, I'm still hoping that these videos will eventually reach the intended audience so that we may come together and form a community. The vision I spoke of and the vision that I will keep speaking of until hopefully this set of videos, or at least one of them, reaches somebody. My vision is to form a community in which we can help one another. Now, if that becomes reality, if that somehow becomes reality, I will be really happy. If it doesn't, well then so be it. But it is officially time to step out of the mud. It's officially time for me to step out of the mud and just look at the sun for once. You know, metaphorically, just I am covered completely in mud. Don't ask how I'm breathing because it's a metaphor, so oxygen is not a problem in a metaphor. I have been literally standing in mud covered completely. And it is officially time for me to at least poke my head out and look at the sun for once. And by once, I mean from now on. And as usual, I'm gonna let the things I don't have control over, I'm gonna let the universe do what it does best, basically. But what I do have control over, I will do my best to turn around somehow. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, never forget, you are not alone. If anyone has been listening to these videos, excuse me, you know by now. If you need help, or if you want to help, just contact me at any given moment on any of the socials found down below these videos. Thank you for watching, and again, remember, you are not alone. You are definitely not alone. Take care and stay safe.